Hello Internet, my name is Hazel from Hazelnutty Games, and this is an early look at the state of Retribution Paladins in the Warlords of Draenor Beta. This information is from build 18738 and is subject to change with future builds. We'll start by going over abilities that are no longer available to you as a Retribution Spec Paladin, some of which have been removed from the game altogether. Hand of Salvation, Guardian of Ancient Kings, and Devotion Aura are all still in the game, but no longer available to the Retribution spec. The Art of War has been removed, but its effects have been merged into baseline Exorcism. Your auto attacks will still have a 20% chance to reset your Exorcism cooldown. No need to panic. Holy Light has been removed. Now, some parts of the patch notes still reference it, so it's unclear if it's going to stay gone or not. As a Ret Paladin though, you're probably going to be stuck with Flash of Light. Divine Plea has been removed. Mana costs for Paladin abilities have supposedly been adjusted to compensate. The level 30 talent, Evil is a Point of View, has been removed. It has been replaced on the talent pane with Blinding Light, which is now a talent. And, arguably the most influential cut, Inquisition has been removed. All of that controversy over the Inquisition glyph, and we're not even keeping it. Next, let's look at changes to the spells and abilities that we've kept. Hand of Sacrifice is now off global cooldown. You can now save somebody's life and win their undying appreciation without worrying about your pesky GCD. Selfless Healer no longer causes Bastion of Glory to apply to Flash of Light. Supplication, which is that passive that gives you a Flash of Light crit if cast within 8 seconds of killing a worthwhile enemy, now also increases that Flash of Light's healing by 50%. From level 34 on, now you can really never die while questing. Word of Glory now has a 1.5 second cast time, which is up from instant cast. Doom! But wait, there's more! Sword of Light, which is one of your passive abilities as a Ret Paladin, now also makes Word of Glory and Eternal Flame instant cast. You lucky bug! Repentance's cast time has been increased to 1.7 seconds. You gotta really focus to make that rogue or bear or whatever think about what he's done. Turn Evil's cast time has also been increased to 1.7 seconds, and it now has a 6-second duration in PvP, down from 8 seconds. Hammer of the Righteous now deals 50% physical weapon damage to the primary target, up from 15%, but the primary target is no longer hit with any holy damage. It's unclear whether or not it's going to be renamed to just Hammer. Last, Seals no longer cost any mana. I hear there's rioting in the streets. In the expansion, there are now Draenor Perks, which you earn between levels 90 and 100. They act as buffs to abilities you already have. These are still being tweaked and the following list may not be final. Empowered Hammer of Wrath allows you to use Hammer of Wrath on targets below 35% health, up from 20% health. Improved Forbearance reduces the duration of your Forbearance debuff by 30 seconds, which lets you do things like Lay on Hands and Divine Shield more frequently. Enhanced Hand of Sacrifice reduces Hand of Sacrifice's cooldown by 30 seconds. And, my favorite, Empowered Divine Storm. Holy power consuming abilities will have a 25% chance to make your next Divine Storm free and deal 50% more damage. This was the tier 16 4-piece bonus for Ret Pallies, and in Warlords it's going to be available to everybody. Note that currently this effect is not active while in Arena. It's not entirely clear if that's a bug or an intended limitation. We'll see. These are your choices for a level 100 talent in Warlords. Empowered Seals. I can't read this without visualizing a horde of really buff, angry sea mammals. That image aside, this has been quite a conversation starter. It gives you a temporary buff whenever you cast Judgment, depending on which seal you're in. Seal of Justice will give you a short sprint, Seal of Insight will give you a heal over time, Seal of Righteousness gives you a haste buff, and Seal of Truth gives you an attack power buff. To get the most damage out of this talent, you're going to be seal switching every 20 seconds. It'll take a skilled player to manage the GCDs of seal hopping on top of their normal rotation, but that paladin will get some strong buffs with the option of extra utility. It's not exactly Inquisition, but this works out to be the new version of an optional skill ceiling for Ret Pallies. Once the theory crafters crunch through the numbers, we'll see if it's worthwhile or not. Seraphim is a 30-second cooldown which costs 5 holy power. It buffs all of your secondary stats by a static amount for 15 seconds. This is an interesting cooldown to try and weave into your rotation, balancing important Templar's Verdicts and Divine Storms with Seraphim to maximize your buff up time without having a damage loss. This is another talent where skilled players will see bigger benefits. Because the buff is a static number though, this one may not scale well with gear. Final Verdict is a more straightforward passive talent, which increases the throughput of your Templar's Verdict and renames it to Final Verdict. It also buffs the damage and radius of your next Divine Storm by 100%, which could combo nicely with the Empowered Divine Storm Draenor perk, which gives you free ones. On the surface, the Retribution Paladin hasn't really changed all that much. The priority system of rotation is much the same as before, and not that many abilities were lost. The real differences of playing Ret stem from the new Draenor perks and the level 100 talents. Empowered Divine Storm in particular modifies gameplay a bit, and combos nicely with the Final Verdict talent. If you choose to use Seraphim or Empowered Seals instead, you'll find that your rotation is going to evolve even further. Most of the Paladin nerfs are in the area of PvP, where crowd control spells for everyone have new cast times, cooldowns, and diminishing returns categories. You might feel crippled in Battlegrounds or Arena for a bit, but at least everyone else does too. And that's what Ret Paladins are like in the Warlords of Draenor Beta. Check out my channel for other spec overviews, Warlords Beta content, and other gaming videos if you're into that kind of thing. Let me know what you think of the changes, and have a wonderful, wonderful day! Bye!